Golden Eagles, and a pleasant afternoon to all of our listeners. This is Kennedy Drake, your host for Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. I hope everyone had a great Easter weekend. I'm here to bring you the latest stories in news, sports, and weather to ensure you're well informed about the happenings in your neck of the woods. And to make things even more exciting, our special guest, Miss Valerie Wilson, will talk with us about Petal's 50th anniversary on the river. Trust me, you won't want to miss what she's got to share. But before we jump into all of this excitement, here's a quick message from our sponsor.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Estos son los sonidos de una cena que casi no sucedió. Es una cena servida gracias a personas como tú. Debido a la crisis actual, 50 millones de personas pueden vivir con hambre este año. Feeding America está ayudando a los que más lo necesitan. Y si quieres, tú puedes ayudar también. Visita feedingamerica.org/en-español. Patrocinado por el Ad Council y Feeding America, la fuerza de 200 bancos de alimentos.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. In USM campus news, come to the Interior Design Project Show to discover an array of designs for residential and commercial spaces. The event takes place April 2nd from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the Thad Cochran Center, Ballroom 2 and 3. The showcase has something for everyone, including apartment furniture, new office furnishings, kitchen cabinets, countertops, artwork, and accessories. The show offers plenty of sections and projects to suit every style and budget. Engage with industry professionals, network with fellow design enthusiasts, and gain valuable insights into the world of interior design. Don't miss out on this opportunity to elevate your space with cutting-edge designs and timeless aesthetics. Mark your calendar and join us for an unforgettable experience that will leave you inspired and ready to transform any space into a masterpiece of design. Are you a die-hard math lover? Maybe you love calculating different forms of math in the real world and want to learn more. If so, join a special conversation with Dr. Christine Andrews Larson from Florida State University. Meeting registration is required via Zoom link on Wednesday, April 3rd at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Dr. Andrews Larson is a professor who studies math education. Her research focuses on three main things, being how students think, how to teach better, and how different groups of students learn. Her work helps teachers teach math in a more interactive way for students. If you have any questions, email Chrissy Hudson at chrissy.hudson@usm.edu. The Communication Studies Student Association will be holding a voter registration drive on April 3rd from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. There will be several tables around campus for students. Tables will be located at Spirit Park and Shoemaker Square. Registering to vote is a crucial way for students to have a say in shaping the future of their community. Voting is a powerful tool for advocating for change and ensuring that student voices are heard by elected officials. Additionally, participating in the electoral process empowers students to make a difference in local, state, and national elections. This influences decisions that affect education, healthcare, environmental policies, and more. Every vote counts, and registering to vote is the first step towards making a meaningful impact on the issues that matter most to students and everyone. If you want to join the Communication Studies Student Association, feel free to email Edgar Simpson at edgar.simpson@usm.edu for more information. On Friday, March 29th, Hattiesburg remembered its Vietnam War Dead Friday. On that day, 51 years ago, the last of the United States combat troops departed Vietnam. While many made their way to Hattiesburg, 21 enlisted men did not. This past Friday, they were celebrated at Veterans Memorial Park. The Hattiesburg Veterans Committee hosted the second annual Veterans Memorial to honor the legacy of the Pine Belt men that never made it home from that war. Each of their names were read, followed by a bell toll. Individuals ring a bell to show them that they're honoring their memory and thanking them for their service. Mayor Toby Barker explained that once soldiers returned from the Vietnam War, they were not celebrated due to the unpopularity of the war. Barker said that regardless of whether the war is popular, our men and women go off to fight, and we owe them our support and gratitude. He says that we owe them our admiration and respect. Gary Lyon is a Vietnam veteran that was given a quilt of velour. These handmade quilts are given to veterans that have been affected by the war. This ceremony has been a beautiful opportunity to learn about the diligent veterans who showcase support for our country. That's your news update from Southern Miss Today. Next, we'll have the latest in sports and weather, so stay tuned. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back with our action-packed sports segment. Put your jerseys on because it is game time. Over this past weekend, beach volleyball finished with an undefeated win at the Beachburg Invitational. Southern Miss's only home game ended with a perfect 3-2 win against Spring Hill. The Golden Eagles also swept Loyola New Orleans. They won against Nichols in a 4-1 score to stay in the tournament. Beach volleyball's next game will be at Atlanta, Georgia for the GSU Digging Duels competition. It begins Friday, April 5th against LSU. It closes on Saturday, April 6th against Sunbelt foe Georgia State. Baseball had their game this past Saturday and beat Troy with a 5-3 win. For the 14th time this season, the Golden Eagles scored in the opening frame, getting 3 tallies to jump out to the early lead in this contest. Softball also had a dominant win against Troy. The final score was 10-1. Don't miss out on the upcoming games we have this week. Women's golf will play against the University of Louisiana Monroe for an all-day tournament on April 1st and 2nd. Baseball will compete against Southeastern Louisiana on April 2nd at 6 p.m. in Hammond, Louisiana. Lastly, softball has an upcoming game against Nichols on April 3rd at 6 p.m. For any more dates, times, or locations, head to southernmiss.com, and we wish the best of luck to every Golden Eagle athlete. As for your weather today, it's currently 77 degrees and cloudy. There's no chance of rain so far, but the skies say otherwise. It'll warm up to the low 80s this afternoon around 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. before cooling back down to the 70s. Make sure to bring rain gear just in case. Up next, we have the Mississippi Moments produced by the Center of Oral History and Cultural Heritage. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. Lunch counters and cafeterias have long provided time-strapped Americans with fast, affordable food. Robert St. John discusses 3 early Hattiesburg eateries and why they were close to the train station.
Coney Island, when you walk into Coney Island today, it looks like Coney Island did 50 years ago, probably when I first walked in there. Mm-hmm. The interesting thing about those, you mentioned Gus's. So if you take Gus's, number 2, California Sandwich Shop, which is where the bagel place is, and then Coney Island, which is where it still is today, those are all 3 on a corner of a building. If you stand at the train station and look into town, the nearest point on each block is a small restaurant, a small cafe. 30-something trains a day came through Hattiesburg. What would happen is the train would stop and you would have about 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, and people would run across the tracks to this nearest point, whether it was California Sandwich Shop, Coney Island, or Gus's, go in, get a little Coke, hamburger, some fries, and either take it back with them or scarf it down real quick and then get back on the train.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
That was your Mississippi Moment for today. Coming up, we have the pleasure of hearing from Miss Valerie Wilson. So stick with us while we hear a message from one of our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mr. Sippy Beverages. Mr. Sippy Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mr. Sippy Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mr. Sippy Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277, and the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back, everyone. We have a special guest with us today. She is the Executive Director of the Petal Area Chamber of Conference. Please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Miss Valerie Wilson. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm great, and I'm so excited to have you here. Can you start by sharing with us the significance of Petal's 50th anniversary celebration by the river?
Absolutely. Well, you know, Petal is a very young old town, and I mean that by saying Petal as a community has been around for many, many years, and many people remember growing up in Petal, but it was not incorporated as a city until 1974, which for a period made Petal one of the largest unincorporated communities in the nation. We were just a little bit late at actually incorporating. And the reason we incorporated back then was really the foresight of leaders in the community back then that realized if we were to ever have total control of our own school system and our city government, that we had to incorporate as a city. Back then, we were simply a community in Forrest County, and we were part of the Forrest County school system, which meant that our tax funds, all of the revenues that came into Forrest County were split among many, many different communities throughout Forrest County, and we were just one of them. And at that time, our actual facilities, our infrastructure as a school system was really in terrible shape. And they had attempted to pass a school bond to improve those facilities. And of course, the Petal community voted in favor of it, but we were outvoted by the rest of Forrest County. And that was just a wake-up call back then, 1972, at that time, that we really had to do something. If we wanted to use our money on our facilities and to grow our school system, that we would have to incorporate. And as we look back now, we see what a great idea that was. And it took some real thinking, and it took some leaders in the community a lot of work to sell that idea and to stress the importance of having our own city government, our own police force, our own fire department. And while it wasn't easy, we now know that that was a great step toward the city that Petal now is.
Yes, that's right. It was a great step, and it's inspiring that you all worked for what you wanted and you were diligent with it.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of things you don't think about. You're just a community, and as a city now you're going to need all kinds of equipment, road equipment, maintenance equipment. You're going to need police equipment. You're going to have fire trucks, all these things that all of a sudden you're going to have to provide for your own community. So it was a great step, and it was not easy, but they did it. And of course now I'm going to toot our horn a little bit, but considering for many, many years we're always either the #1 school district in the state or one of the top 2 to 3 school districts in the state, that the goal that they had back then was a great goal, and we've accomplished that goal.
Wow, you all are very successful. When is this celebration?
So our 50th anniversary celebration on the river is Saturday, April 6th, this coming Saturday, and it will be held at the Petal River Park. And if you're not familiar with the river park, it's right next to the bridge. As you come in from Hattiesburg, you cross the Leaf River Bridge, and our river park is right there beside the bridge. We are exactly opposite the Chain Park side of the river. So Chain Park is on the Hattiesburg side, Petal River Park is on the other side, and it makes for a great place to have an outdoor concert and a huge fireworks display.
That sounds very fun. Can you tell us what inspired the decision to celebrate along the river?
Well, first of all, we've had a lot of success with our Star Spangled celebration on the river, which we host in conjunction with the City of Hattiesburg and the Historic Hattiesburg Downtown Association. And we've just found that it's a great place for people to be able to spread out, bring their lawn chairs, and truly the fireworks display is spectacular. But you have to have a place where it's safe to shoot fireworks of that magnitude. So the river and the river park is an absolute wonderful place for that. And of course, this year we will have many food vendors there and live music, and we are proud to present the Molly Ringwalds will be our headlining show for the celebration, and they will actually begin playing at 7:30. The gates open at 6 o'clock p.m. this Saturday, and as I said, there'll be lots of food and opportunities for kids to play. It's a big open area, so we suggest everybody bring their lawn chairs and their blankets and just plan on hanging out. Our fireworks will begin at 9:30, and they really are a wonderful celebration in itself.
So it's a great outdoor event for everyone of all ages.
Absolutely. It's a very family-friendly event. We encourage you to bring your family, except for the dogs. We do not want you to bring your furry friends with you. It's really, fireworks are really scary for most animals, and we just don't want any events to happen there that we will be sorry for. So leave your pets at home, but bring your children. That's okay. Bring your parents if you want to.
That makes sense. Well, you telling me all this information has me very excited. I want to go right now. How has the community responded to this announcement?
Oh, well, they love it. I mean, this is a once-in-a-half-century event. I mean, this is the first 50th, and it'll be the last 50th event we ever have. So we're celebrating as a community, but I will have to tell you, a lot of fans of the Molly Ringwalds are coming to celebrate with us because they get a free concert. They are going to play from 7:30 straight through to 9:30 with no breaks, so it's going to be quite a show, and we have a lot of people wanting to share in that event.
Well, I also want to ask you, are there any historical or cultural aspects in relation to Petal and the river?
Well, I think most of our heritage is with the Native American tribes that were around the river there. We have particularly the Choctaws. We've had a large group of Choctaws that lived in the area, and to this day you can still dig many places, find arrowheads and such. So really our history is in the Native American heritage that was around the area. The other part is the lumber industry, that we had a lot of Petal residents that were timber farmers, and so that was another part of our history that is prominent.
Okay, well, that's very educational. It's good to know the history behind such a spectacular event. How has the planning process been?
It's been fun. It really is much more laid back. This whole process has been much more laid back than what we have to go through for the Star Spangled celebration, because there's so many moving pieces when you have two cities working together.
But when you just have one fire department, one sheriff's department, one police department working together,
it's much easier to pull together. Our vendors have been terrific. Most of them are regulars at the River Park, so they know what to expect. And since we've been doing the Star Spangled Celebration there, most of our attendees know what to expect. They know about parking and they know about what to bring with them. So it's been a lot of fun, and hopefully it looks like the weather's going to remain nice all week, and so that's always a plus. That's the nail biter for event planners, is praying that we have decent weather or else everything falls apart, particularly with fireworks. You don't just send them back home. You've bought them, they're on their way. We're shooting them off. So even if people think it might rain, you can rest assured the event will not be postponed. It will not be canceled. We are going ahead with the event. The only time we ever cancel an event is if emergency management just says it's too dangerous and they shut us down. But from our viewpoint, if it rains, we get wet, and that's about it.
Well, I like that. You're very dependable. There's no canceling unless something very emergency-like. Does the event, what kind of vendors do people have there?
Well, food and beverage. For this particular event, it's going to be all food and beverages with a couple of nonprofits just giving out some information. But we have food vendors from all over. We will have street tacos, we will have barbecue, we will have fair foods and funnel cakes, snow cones. Southern Beverage is one of our sponsors, so we'll have a nice assortment of Southern Beverage beers there. Another one of our sponsors is Coca-Cola, so we'll have our Coke vendors there. To mention our other sponsors, of course, Forest County Board of Supervisors, Shouse Dearman and Waits, Mississippi Power, and of course the City of Petal are all sponsors of this event, which is wonderful because we all work together, and it's fun to come together to make it a super event.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good. People love to eat. They love to have a wide variety of food, so it answers everyone's thoughts and everyone's prayers.
Absolutely. We'll even have some vegan treats there, so there'll be something for everybody.
Mm-hmm. In what ways do you hope that this celebration creates a lasting impact on the community?
I think the important thing is just to celebrate not just your past, but your future. And for those of us that have been in Petal for a while, we can remember the Petal of the past, but it's remarkable how quickly we're growing and how much our city is advancing. And that's something that we want to celebrate now, but also remember the past. And we want to keep the parts of Petal that are special to us. It is a small town, and I think most of us want it to continue to be a small, safe, secure town. We are very much a church-oriented town. We have probably more churches in Petal per square mile than any other community, and we have over 30 churches in our community, and we celebrate that, and we celebrate being part of the same community. We celebrate the fact that we support the schools. The school system is our economic development driver in Petal, so it's just important that we come together and realize that all these goals we've set and all the things we've done are coming to fruition, and that's cause for celebration.
It sure is. It's awesome for a community to just come together with one another and celebrate the goals and celebrate how far they've come. Looking ahead, do you envision the river continuing to play a central role in the future of events in Petal?
Absolutely. Not just Petal and Hattiesburg. I think both communities, both cities, and the county have recognized that it has been one of our least used resources that we have so much more that we can do with the river being there. And so that's why the City of Petal and the City of Hattiesburg have created a Leaf River District where they can use tax funds from there to help plan different events, plan different infrastructures, walkways, and such. So it is very much in our future that river, the Leaf River, is going to be another tourism factor and just an economic development factor in our community.
And I'm sure it's really beautiful to look at as well.
It's beautiful. The Petal River Park itself is, for those that don't know it, it's mountain bike trails. We have over 7 miles of mountain bike trails throughout the park, and it truly is a wonderful area. Lots of hardwood trees, and it's not just flat. There are little hills and bumps, and it's an interesting walk, so we invite everybody to come to the park, not just for our fireworks, but come to the park to walk and to enjoy the outdoors.
And I'm sure it's good exercise. It's good for the heart as well. What inspired you to get involved in this celebration?
Well, as director of the Chamber of Commerce, that's our thing. It's community development. When you're a Chamber of Commerce, one of your responsibilities is having events and opportunities for people to enjoy what's available here in our community. So it was a pretty easy decision to celebrate our 50th anniversary. And as I said, it only comes around once every 50 years, and the next one I won't be around for, so I had to get involved in this one.
That's perfect. Lastly, how can people contact you about any information about the event?
Sure, it's very easy. Just call the Petal Chamber of Commerce. We're listed, and we have a website page, so you can go to petalchamber.com. We also have a Facebook page, so feel free to reach out in any way you can. We'll be there, and I'll be happy to give you a call back.
Okay, thank you so much for coming on the show today and giving us some knowledge about what this celebration is.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
Of course. Coming up, we've got a community calendar from Raven Payne. Hey Golden Eagles, my name is Kennedy Drake and I'm here with the community calendar where we gather information from around campus and within the community near you in Hattiesburg. This weekend, the Hattiesburg Arts Council will have an evening of jazz and blues featuring Alphonso Sanders. Come to the Hattiesburg Cultural Center on March 23rd from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tickets are $25 on eventbrite.com. Delicious foods and refreshments will also be available. A drawing will take place at 8 p.m. for a framed photograph by Betty Press. Don't miss out on this musical journey. Gabrielle Grace and OK Kennedy will perform at Funky Frida's on March 26th at 6:30 p.m. Both Grace and Kennedy are awesome singers and songwriters. Their music is certain to take you on a journey of the depths of pain and heights of joy. Their unique and diverse range of musical styles will create an unforgettable listening experience. Bring your friends and family for a memorable evening filled with positive vibes. Paige Manson will bring this year's lecture on March 26th at 6 p.m. Her lecture discusses the women's jury movement in Mississippi during the 1950s and 60s. It dives into the important work of women activists in the state. This is the perfect event to add inspiration during Women's History Month. If you have an event you would like for us to promote, send it to sm2news@usm.edu. This is just one way we thank our community for watching Southern Miss TV and supporting us here at Southern Miss Student Media Center. Visit our website, sm2media.com, to keep up with all of our news. Signing out, I'm Kennedy Drake, and this has been your Community Calendar. Thank you for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Thanks to our audio engineer, Justin Ware, and our live stream producer, Cullen Rogers, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producers, Annalie Johnson and Sonia Woods, executive producer, Ohari Adir, program director, Shania Williams, and our general manager, Dr. Martin. That wraps up our show for Southern Miss Today. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, soar high to the sky and fly, eagle, fly. I'm your host, Kennedy Drake, signing off for now.
Sponsorship comes from Southern Beverage, your local Michelob Ultra distributor.